But when it comes to capturing Osama bin Laden and those truly responsible for the terrorist attacks of 9/11, along with those responsible for sending letters laced with anthrax through the U.S. mail lest Bush thinks we have forgotten, then we have less government. When it comes to the FCC raising hell and levying hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines over the 2-second exposure of Janet Jackson's breast on a national television, the government seems overwhelming. But when it comes to responding to the nationally televised call for the assassination of a foreign leader by the Christian Taliban's Pat Robertson, or regulating corporate-owned and controlled media for that matter, our government is nowhere to be seen. Just as it is when it comes to responding to national disasters like Hurricane Katrina. Yet it seems to favor more government when it comes to telling consenting adults who they can love and who they can marry and what they can do in the privacy of their own homes. Yes, these truly are the times that try our souls. But we cannot, like sunshine soldiers and summer patriots, shrink away from our duty toward the principles of justice and equality upon which our country is founded. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, wrote the authors of the Declaration of Independence, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Like the founders of this country, I believe it is the duty of every citizen to stand up in the face of inequality and injustice at every turn. Though the powers that be are formidable, we cannot remain silent, even when they threaten to take away our homes, our jobs, and our livelihoods. As Dr. Martin Luther King once said, there comes a time when silence is a betrayal. Last November, after 11 bigoted state laws were passed around our nation making marriage equality a crime, I knew as the leader of a spiritual community, I could not remain silent. I cannot betray those that an unjust system is now officially discriminating against. I cannot betray our highest principles as a nation and as a species. Nor can I betray my own sense of justice and desire to see the dream of equality become a reality once and for all. So I informed my congregation at Clifton Unitarian Church that I can no longer in good conscience perform wedding ceremonies for anyone until I'm free to perform them equally for all couples. As you may recall, my stance was covered in the local news, and to my surprise, though my church community has been extremely supportive, my secular employers were not. A week after my public stance against discrimination, my supervisor and CEO called me into a meeting during which I was reprimanded and later demoted and asked to resign. I did not voluntarily resign and was officially fired from my position as a corporate video producer less than 2 months later. In retrospect, however, I should not have been surprised, given the culture of corruption that has now overtaken our great nation. From a White House that added calamity upon catastrophe in the wake of Hurricane Katrina by appointing an unqualified crony as head of FEMA, to the governor's office here in the Commonwealth that has seemingly chosen to ignore state merit laws, to my own experience with an employer that I feel discriminated against me because of my personal political and moral opinions. So in a moment, I will walk into the courthouse across the street and file suit against my former employer, and in so doing, I hope to put the powers that be on notice that we will not remain silent. not keep our opinions to ourselves. We will not resign ourselves to the betrayal of our fellow citizens by remaining mute in the wake of unjust and unconstitutional laws. You may take away our jobs, and in so doing threaten our homes, our families, our beloved partners, spouses, and children, but we shall not go away quietly. You may seek to publicly defame us, ridicule our beliefs and lifestyles, and deny us the same rights as you yourselves enjoy, but we will cry out loud. You may illegally fire and demote us because we belong to the wrong political party, but you shall hear us roar, "Justice for all! Justice for all! Justice for all!" In closing, I'd like to tell you quickly about a couple of dear friends of mine. Mel and Patrick are a gay couple in my church who just celebrated their 18th anniversary last week. As they like to say, we haven't been apart since the day we met. Mel served this country in Vietnam and was wounded when a mortar exploded and blew him off a tank. He received a Purple Heart, one of our nation's highest honors for his courage and service to his country. I want to know why Mel doesn't deserve the same rights as the rest of us. Yes! The same rights as President Bush, who shrank from his duty to serve his country during Vietnam. Mel and Patrick, I file this suit on your behalf and on behalf of everyone who has ever, is now, or ever shall suffer oppression under the illegitimate government that has usurped the American way. Let's put them on notice. We're taking our country back. Where is our country? It's right here. Almost within reach, right where it's been all along, within our hearts and our dreams and our voices. So let them hear our cry from the courthouse across the street, all the way to Washington, D.C. Justice for all! Justice for all! Justice for all!
Well, we can all join in a song that we all are familiar with, but maybe we'll alter the words for today.
You gonna go work the crowd?
No, I didn't do a very good job with the signatures. A lot of people live over in Indiana.
Yeah, I had a couple.
And then I had a couple that just signed in.
I told him. He said one of his coworkers to call me, and she hasn't. So maybe they don't see any reason to